pulled the gun out and pointed at me and shot me.
Only on 2 months after this mother and her 3 children were shot, she faced the man she says pulled the trigger in a courtroom, her ex-boyfriend. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Ann Holt. The attempted murder case against that man, Ernest Moore, will now head to a Davidson County grand jury.
Moore is charged with shooting his then-girlfriend and her 3 children at a Madison apartment back in June. His girlfriend testified about what sparked the shooting and the moments following as he continued to fire shots.
Joseph Pleasant joins us in the studio with a story you'll see only on 2.
Right, this was tough testimony to hear. Nicole Luke described an afternoon that started with packing a U-Haul to move her family with Moore to Memphis and ended with her and her 3 daughters shot multiple times.
He's right there. Ernest Moore.
Through her wired jaw, Nicole Luke identified her ex-boyfriend and the father of her 3-year-old daughter as the man who shot her in the face at this Madison apartment June 13th. The family was in the process of moving to Memphis. They stopped to say goodbye to Moore's cousin.
I asked him what time we would be leaving because he knew I had to meet the landlord, and he said 2:45.
What Luke didn't know was that question would provoke a violent attack just seconds later.
He was going to the door and he reached in his right pocket, and I thought he was pulling the phone out to call his brother because that's what he said he was going to do, and he pulled the gun out and pointed at me and shot me.
One bullet shattered Luke's jaw, another grazed her chest. Police say Moore also shot Luke's 14-year-old daughter in the chest. Moore sat quietly as Luke described the moments following the shooting.
The 3-year-old and the 7-year-old were screaming and crying, and I was trying to get them calmed down.
Moore left the apartment, but the attack wasn't over.
When I came outside and he was shooting inside the car and my other children.
Luke's other 14-year-old daughter was shot in the leg. Her 15-year-old daughter was shot in the liver and spine. She's now paralyzed from the chest down.
While I was out there, I could barely talk, but I was trying to get the neighbors or someone to help them.
Moore hid out for 3 days before turning himself in to Memphis authorities. Right now, Moore is being held on $5 million bond. A Davidson County grand jury will decide whether to indict him on the 4 attempted murder charges against him.
Thank you, Joseph. Moore has a lengthy criminal history, including a second-degree murder conviction when he was only 15. He was sentenced to 18 years in prison for that conviction. His parole expired in 2010.